I'm Koku, which is Donna Kokumo Bowie, and I'm here to, I guess, participate and share and learn at the Signifyin Testifyin Storytelling Festival.
How many times have you done this?
A lot, a whole lot. Now, I don't do numbers well, okay? I said I was going to stop saying that, but I'll just let you know. I don't do numbers well, but I remember the first time that I performed here, my daughter was 2 years old. And I brought her with me, and now my daughter is 20. And so, you know, it's been a lot of years, yeah.
So this is an important faction of your life. Why?
It's just a way to, I guess, number one, use my talent, a way to sustain my culture, to also learn, storytelling, learn about other cultures. I was just sharing with one of the guests that, I tell stories from everywhere, in different types of programs. But, the first story that I ever heard were from my father. He was a wonderful storyteller, and anyway, he used to tell stories, folk tales, black southern folk tales, and I used to listen to him tell those stories, and he was dramatic and big, and so I think that's where I get it. I'm dramatic and big, and I grew up. No wonder I grew up to be a storyteller. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So in this Storytelling Festival, we have plenty of artists from across America continually, year after year after year, as we attested to, and I've seen it multiple times myself personally, and I've brought youth to it. You want to talk about why it's important for the youth to see, and the theme was, and how are the children? You want to just talk about that?
We teach through story. I mean, storytelling has been a modem. Is that the correct word? A modem to teach children forever and ever and ever. Whether it's fairy tales or folk tales or fables, just constantly. Even religions, everybody teaches everything through stories. And so trying to pass on lessons and culture and tradition and value through a story, it just touches everybody. It's just the way to really connect on all different levels. You're thinking, you're feeling. With a storyteller, you're seeing, you're connecting. It's just a great way to teach children. It's a great way to teach us, Yeah.
And so there's a lot of morals in these stories, huh?
Yeah. Every story has a moral. Every story has a lesson. Even if it's whether it's a folk tale or a story that you see on screen or on stage, where our lives are just full of stories. The news, my goodness, stories unfold every day, and so it's just a great way to get information and learn and be inspired. All of that.
So basically, I've asked a lot of the same questions. I'm going to do one more of the same. Is when in regards to basically the youth, we talk about black storytelling. Mm-hmm. Why is black storytelling important?
I think the same thing, really just passing on culture and history and who we are. And when you can read or hear a story that connects with you from a cultural level, it just does something. Whenever you hear a story, maybe I should talk more personally. Whenever I hear a story, whether it's a story about a woman or a story and if it's a black woman, that whole idea of, oh, if she's doing that, then I can do that. If they can do it, then I can do it. If they created this, maybe I can create this too. Just finding a likeness or a connection and being able to see yourself in somebody else's story. And I think when children are able to see themselves in stories that are created for them, created from their ancestors, it just, can touch them a little bit more. More things. The more you have in common, the more you can connect. Yeah, I love it.
And so you're not from Minneapolis. You came here for this festival?
Yes, I am originally from, originally from North Carolina, but I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia for like 23 years, 24 years. And so the folks in Atlanta say, oh, you can't say you're a North Carolinian anymore. You're an Atlantan, so I kind of claim both. Yeah.
And when it comes to storytelling down there in Atlanta, is there festivals like this?
No, I don't. No, we have a National Black Arts Festival that's in Atlanta, and I've got to say it used to have a strong storytelling segment a little bit, but mostly it was in the children's village. Here the storytelling is for everybody, but that's been a long time gone. So I don't know, maybe they'll bring it back, or maybe it's something that sometimes you can get out of a loop in a very busy city and with an organization that's doing a lot of different things. But once upon a time, there was the Children's Educational Village for the National Black Arts Festival, and I was the official storyteller. And so, things change and people move around, and so, but nothing. Now there's a festival, the National Black Storytellers Association. They have a big festival every year that happens in November. It goes from city to city. The Minneapolis's Black Storytelling Alliance, they're a part of that. And in Atlanta, we have a Kaumba Storytellers, which is, I guess you can say, a sister organization. Lots of satellite organizations, and all of us belong to the larger organization. Like there's the North Carolina Storytellers, and then the Kaumba Storytellers. That's what we are in Atlanta. And here, the Black Storytellers Alliance, and then Keepers of the Culture in, oh gosh, I'm going to say it wrong. Is it Detroit? Anyway, there's several organizations.
Yeah, thank you. I think that helps a lot, because sometimes our viewers, or even me, might be, just ignorant to the fact that there's these organizations doing this actually worldwide or nationwide,
Oh, yeah. Not just black folks, all folks. Everybody's got, in Atlanta, we also have the Southern Order of Storytellers. And so, everybody's got a story, and old stories, new stories, it's really, really cool.
So, you hope there's going to be a 28th? Will you be here next year, 28th annual?
Who knows? Who knows? I have to say that eventually, as I get older, I really want to transition to more literature, putting all of the stories in books, the stories I tell, retelling them. A lot of times you pick up a book and the author will be, this story is retold by such and such a person. But when you're a creative person, I have a lot of stories that I've created myself that I want to kind of focus on getting those out there. So maybe I'll be here next year with a book or something like that, yeah.
Anything else you'd want to say in regards to this festival or storytelling in general?
Well, I'd like to applaud the Black Storytellers Alliance for doing this year after year after year. It's just wonderful. I remember the first time that I did this. Like I said, my daughter was 2, so I don't remember how old I was, but I was young, and the storytellers that were at the festival were really well known, and so I had sent in this really pitiful videotape to Natando Zulu. And she called me up. She said, your tape was awful, but we think we want you to come. And so I was like, yay, really? That's what I was like, yay. And so I came, and I got to ride around with all of these very famous people as far as I was concerned, because I Googled and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I remember just being in the van and hearing people like Granddaddy Junebug and Queen Noor, and one year Diane Ferlat. I got to have lunch with her, and it was just like, just kind of like the new kid on the block. And now it was so funny because Laka Bridges, she's asking me all of these questions. She's like the new kid on the block, and I'm thinking, hey, what you ask? oh, okay, I see. It's all, it's all come full circle, And so, anyway, just it's a wonderful experience, and I'm honored to have been a part of it for so long, Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, appreciate it. Anything else you want to say?
No, I have nothing else to say. I could tell you a story, but no, time's up. I think that's enough. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank
very
you.
much, yeah.